Sairam students, welcome back to your political science online lecture. Children, we had already completed part 2 of lesson number 2, the electoral process. Children, today we will start with part 3. Okay, but before that, let's recall what we had learnt in our previous class. Children, in the last online class, we had learnt about the functions of election commission. Yes, do you remember what were the functions of election commission? Yes, come on. First was preparing the voters list. Second, decide the timetable and program of election. Third function, scrutiny of application forms of the candidates. Fourth, to give recognition to political parties. And fifth was to resolve any disputes regarding elections. Yes, so we had completed in part 2 about the functions of election commission. Yes, now children, just have a look at this flow chart about the process of elections. Now children, the first is establishment of constituencies. Okay, I'll be explaining you what are constituencies, right? Now, so the first in the process of election is, the first step is establishment of constituencies. Then second one, finalizing voters list. Third, nomination of candidates and scrutiny of their nomination forms. Election campaign, actual voting, counting of votes, results of elections, and resolution of disputes regarding elections. Children, these are the steps which are followed when elections are conducted. So let us revise. Now children, in the examination you get such concept maps, yes, and when you attempt this question you have to be very careful with the sequence. Okay, now for example, you cannot write counting of votes first and then election campaign next. Okay, then your sequence becomes wrong. So in this, children, when the process of election, it goes in a proper steps, right? So you have to write in a proper sequence here. Okay, now once again we will revise, children. This is a very important question. It had already appeared in the board examination. Okay, now once again we will revise process of elections, establishment of constituencies, finalizing voters list. Children, don't write here preparing voters list. Okay, it is finalizing voters list. Okay, then nomination of candidates and scrutiny of their nomination forms, election campaign, actual voting, counting of votes, results of elections, and resolution of disputes regarding elections. So this is the process of election. Now children, let me explain you here. The first point, just have a look at this establishment of constituencies. Now what is this constituencies? What are these constituencies? Okay, let's have a look. Now children, in India we are following an area based system of representation. So for this purpose our country is divided into different areas for the purpose of election. Means in a vast country like India, our country is divided, okay, based on the area for the purpose of election. These areas are called electoral constituencies. Yes, so it is basically the division of the area depending on the population. Okay, it's based on the population of that particular area. So for Lok Sabha election, the country is divided into 543 constituencies. Yes, so in Lok Sabha elections, the country is divided into 543 constituencies, and the representative elected from each constituency is called member of parliament. So 543 constituencies, and from that 543 constituencies, okay, from each constituency one member is, or one representative is elected from each constituency. Okay, and he is called as member of parliament or MP. Okay, now let us learn about this restructuring of constituency. Now you understood what is a constituency? Yes, constituency is basically the country is divided into, it is divided as per the area, it is divided as per the population. So now let us learn about restructuring of constituency. Now children, total number of members in Lok Sabha is 543. And so how are these members elected? Now, every member represents one constituency. I told you the country is divided, okay? It's as per the area. So the total number of members in Lok Sabha is 543. Every member, it represents one constituency. So we have total 543 constituencies, and every member is representing one constituency. It means there are 543 constituencies of Lok Sabha. Try to understand. From 543, okay, there are 543 constituencies, and from each constituency one member is elected. So therefore the total number of members in Lok Sabha is 543. Now children, who creates these constituencies? Who does the work of establishing these constituencies? Just have a look. Creating constituencies is the responsibility of the Delimitation Commission of Election Commission. So there is a commission which is called as Delimitation Commission. It is also called as Boundary Commission. Okay. So this work is done by the, that is creating constituencies is done by Delimitation Commission of Election Commission. And the Delimitation Commission does not succumb to any pressure. There is no pressure on them to when they are restructuring the constituencies. Okay. So it is solely the responsibility of Delimitation Commission of Election Commission to restructure the constituency. Now children, let us learn about one more important concept, code of conduct. Now children, let us learn what is code of conduct. Now children, you know that elections, it should be held in a free and fair atmosphere, and they should be reliable. Yes. So to ensure free and fair elections in India, the Election Commission has adopted several measures. Now basically the code of conduct is one of the measure adopted by the Election Commission. See, they are basically the rules or laws which are to be followed by the government. It has to be followed by the voters, by the political parties. So basically code of conduct is a law, or it is a rule which has to be followed by the political parties, by the voters, by the government. Okay. Now I'll repeat. So to ensure free and fair elections in India, Election Commission had adopted several measures, and code of conduct is one of the measures adopted by the Election Commission. Now the last few decades, the Election Commission has used its power to control malpractices during elections. So children, sometimes it happens that during elections there are a lot of problems which crop up. Like for example, as I told you, during elections there could be bogus voting, then there could be violence could be created, voters can be threatened to vote for a particular political party. So such malpractices takes place during elections. So Election Commission has used its powers to control the malpractices during elections. So this code of conduct explains the rules that should be followed by the government, political parties and voters before elections and during elections. So before the election also they have to follow the rules, and during elections also rules are to be followed. So basically code of conduct, it explains the rules that are to be followed by the government, political parties and voters before elections and during elections. Even government cannot violate these rules. Even they are supposed to follow the rules. They have to follow the code of conduct which is laid down by the Election Commission. And due to the strict observance of the code of conduct in the last few elections, common voters have become confident. Okay, now they know whom they are supposed to vote. They cannot be pressurized by anyone, any political party. There is no pressure on any voter. Okay, they are free to choose their candidate, whomever they want, they will vote. Okay, there can be no pressure on any voter. So because of the strict observance of the code of conduct, that is the rules and laws in the last few elections, common voters have become very confident. Okay, now they are free to choose their own candidate of their choice. Okay, there's no pressure on any of the voter. They can choose anybody, any candidate of their choice. Okay, so children, code of conduct is the rules or laws which are to be followed by the government, by the political parties and by the voters. Now let me see whether you are able to answer this or not. Which two conditions among following is a violation of code of conduct? Means we are not observing the rules and regulations which are set forth by the election commission. Now just have a look, children. The candidate distributes items of household use. Promise made to resolve the water problem if elected. To go from door to door to meet voters and request them to vote. To appeal on the basis of caste and religion to get support. Now children, from these four criteria, four things which are listed here, now which according to you the political parties, okay, they should not, they are not supposed to do that, right? What according to you they are not supposed to do, means they are not following the code of conduct. Now see here, first one, the candidate distributes items of household use. It means that here the candidate is trying to bribe the voters, right? They are trying to lure the voters so that the voters, they vote in their favor. Yes. Now second, problems made to resolve the water problem if elected. So children, here this one, that is when, suppose if they get elected, then they will solve the problems of the people, right? So promise made to resolve the water problem. Suppose in a particular area there's a water problem, so they just promise the voters, promise the people that they will solve their problems, water problems, right? Then next is to go from door to door to meet voters and request them to vote. Now children, during the election campaign, you might have observed, right, these things happen, that is they come door to door and they request the voters to vote. Okay, to appeal on the basis of caste and religion, that is you are trying to create favor communalism and all these type of things. That is you are taking the caste and religion, means you are trying to lure the people through caste and religion to get the support. Now children, which according to you is violating the code of conduct? Yes, tell me, which according to you it violates the code of conduct? Now children, here you see the candidate distributes items of household use. It means here they are trying to lure the voters, they are attracting them to vote for them. So this is a wrong practice. Then next is to appeal on the basis of caste and religion to get the support. This is also wrong, this is also incorrect, right? This means they are not following the code of conduct. See, next, second and third, it is okay that when they go for a election campaign, they promise the people whatever problems are there, they will solve their problem. That is okay. They go from door to door to meet the voters and request them to vote. That is also okay. But the first one and the fourth one, it is not at all correct. It is totally a violation of code of conduct. Yes, my dear students, understood up till here? Alright, now let's learn what are the challenges in conducting free and fair elections. What are the challenges faced by the Election Commission in conducting elections? Now children, if we take into account the size of our country and number of voters, children, we have a huge population and our country is a vast country. So conducting elections is really a challenging task. It is not easy to conduct elections because our country is very vast and we have huge population, right? So it is really a challenging task for the Election Commission. So the Election Commission has to work in accordance with the law while dealing with these challenges. You have learned now about the code of conduct. Yes. So as I'll repeat it, children, again, that our country is a vast country with huge population. So conducting elections is a Herculean task. It's very challenging for the Election Commission, right? So they have to work with accordance with the law and they have to deal with the challenges. Let us learn what are the challenges faced by the Election Commission to conduct free and fair elections. Now the children, very important, first is misuse of money. Misuse of money takes place to a great extent during election. Now children, just now you had learned that how the people, they are attracting the voters to vote in favor for them. by giving them the household items, by giving them money. So they are bribing them. Yes. So misuse of money takes place to a great extent during elections. Therefore, the Election Commission has to take several measures to stop such a misuse of money. So misuse of money has to be stopped, right? You have to work, whoever the candidate, whoever will be elected, they have to work for the welfare of the people. They have to do good work so that voters will vote them. No need for bribing the voters, right? If you do good work, people will definitely vote for you, right? So no need to attract the voters or bribe the voters. So misuse of money, it's a challenging task which the Election Commission is facing. So it has to be stopped. So misuse of money, that is one of the challenge faced by the Election Commission. Just see here. If you press this button, your bowl will be filled with delicious food. Now children, suppose he is a very poor person, right? Now he is see from the condition, he is illiterate, he does not have any education also, right? So just see how this candidate is trying to bribe him by saying that I will give you food. So you press this button. So what these people do, they are poor people, okay, they don't have knowledge, so they then elect the wrong candidate, right? Now these candidates, they should not be corrupt. You have to work for the welfare of the citizens, welfare of the people. They are having a trust on you that whomever we elect, they will do betterment of the country, they will work for the betterment of the country. So you should not follow such practices, that is misuse of money should not be done during the elections. Now, many political parties, they give election tickets to the candidates with criminal background. Now this is also one of the challenge which is being faced, children. So children, now political parties, among them they elect one person and that person contests the election. But if that person has a criminal background, okay, so that is also one of the problem which is being faced. So this results not only in criminalization of politics, but the Election Commission also faces problems in ensuring that elections are conducted in free and fair environment. So if the candidate is from a criminal background, so it will result in criminalization of politics, and it will be very difficult for the Election Commission to conduct the elections in free and fair atmosphere or free and fair environment. So the first challenge was misuse of money. Second challenge is that the many political parties, they gave election tickets to the candidates with a criminal background, so that will result in criminalization of politics. Okay. Now, another major challenge is violence during elections. Okay, during elections violence also takes place, many a times it happens. The extent of violence has increased significantly during elections. So all political parties should help the Election Commission to control this violence. So violence has to be controlled. Okay, so this is one of the challenge faced by the Election Commission. To retain a continuing influence on politics, leaders give election tickets to their own relatives. So these two family monopoly. You will see that the whole family is involved in politics. Okay, so they give ticket to their own relatives. So this will lead to family monopoly in politics. Okay, so these are the major challenges, children, which we are facing. Okay, Election Commission is facing so many challenges, but then we that is the voters, then the political parties, okay, they have to help the Election Commission to conduct the elections in free and fair atmosphere. Children, I hope that you had understood about the process of election. Okay, that flow chart which we had done. Children, you have to practice that flow chart very carefully, and you have to study in sequence. Then we had learned about the restructuring of constituency. Yes, code of conduct which is to be followed by the government, political parties and voters. This code of conduct has to be followed by all these people. Then we had also learned the challenges which are being faced by the Election Commission to conduct the elections in free and fair atmosphere. So which were the challenges, children? Misuse of money, that the people are from the criminal background, that is the candidates, they come from criminal background. Okay, then family monopoly, Okay, so these all challenges are, and even the violence. Okay, violence is also taken place significantly all nowadays. Violence is also taken place during elections. So here we all together have to see to it that elections are conducted in a free and fair atmosphere, and they are reliable. The results should be reliable. Okay, now children, I hope you have understood. Okay, now we will continue the next part in our next class, children. Thank you, my dear students. Meet you in the next class.